Most people believe that success belongs to the loud, the bold, the charismatic. The ones who dominate conversations, who shine on stage, who seem to move through life with endless social energy. That's the stereotype. But reality is far more interesting. Some of the most successful people in history were introverts. Scientists, creators, entrepreneurs, philosophers, leaders. Not because they were loud, but because they were quiet. Their strength came not from noise, but from depth. Today we explore why introverts have a unique, often underestimated advantage. Why stillness can become power. Why silence can create clarity. Why introverts succeed not despite who they are, but because of who they are. To understand this, we need to look at how an introverted mind works. From the outside, it might seem passive. It might seem slow. But inside, there is an entire world. Thoughts develop. Observations deepen. Patterns emerge. Decisions mature. Introverts think before they act. They reflect before they commit. They observe before they speak. And this creates a different kind of success, the quiet, stable, strategic kind. In any conversation, extroverts generate energy from interaction. They speak to think. They process ideas by expressing them. Introverts do the opposite. They think before they speak. Their power is in internal processing. They listen. They absorb. They connect dots. They analyze. And when they finally speak, their voice carries weight. Because their words come from reflection, not reaction. This is not shyness. It is strategy. The introverted brain is wired differently. It has stronger neural activity in areas responsible for memory, internal attention, and long-term planning. Instead of chasing stimulation, it seeks meaning. Instead of reacting quickly, it reacts accurately. Introverts make fewer mistakes, not because they are cautious, but because they are selective. They don't say yes to everything. They don't spend energy on noise. They conserve their resources for what matters. In a world addicted to speed, introverts excel at something priceless: depth. They go deeper into relationships, deeper into ideas, deeper into skills. They are not distracted by constant social stimulation. They build. They learn. They refine. They create. Many great innovations did not come from endless meetings or loud brainstorming sessions, but from solitude, from focused thinking, from the quiet mind that is allowed to wander and discover. Introverts also have a hidden advantage in emotional intelligence. When you spend a lot of time inside your own mind, you become highly aware of your feelings. And when you are aware of your own emotions, you become sensitive to the emotions of others. Introverts are powerful listeners. They notice what others miss: tone, nuance, small signals, the things between the words. This makes them extraordinary in leadership, negotiation, coaching, creativity, relationships. A great leader is not the loudest voice in the room. A great leader is the one who sees the room, who understands people, who listens first and speaks second. Introverts do this naturally. They don't need to dominate, they need to understand. And when they do, they make better decisions. They inspire loyalty. They lead with empathy. Another key strength of introverts is self-reliance. When they want to recharge, they don't need a crowd. They don't need external validation. They need quiet, a walk, a room, a book, time alone. This creates internal stability. While others depend on the outside world for energy, introverts generate energy from within. That makes them resilient. When life becomes chaotic, an introvert's strength increases. They retreat, they regroup, they come back stronger. Perhaps one of the most overlooked advantages of introverts is focus. In a world of distraction, the ability to sit in silence with one task is a superpower. This is where mastery comes from. This is where innovation is born. Deep work, no interruptions, no noise, just a mind and a mission. Many introverts can enter this state naturally. They lose themselves in something they love. They don't need motivation. They need interest. When they care, they become unstoppable. Society often misunderstands introverts. People think they lack confidence, but confidence is not volume. Confidence is conviction. Confidence is acting when necessary, not performing constantly. Confidence is choosing when to speak and when to remain silent. Confidence is the ability to be yourself without apology. Introverts carry this quietly, like a secret strength. And here is the paradox. While others rush, introverts wait. They collect information. They evaluate. They plan. They prepare. They don't jump at every opportunity. They choose carefully. And because they choose carefully, their actions have more impact. They waste less energy. They follow fewer paths. But those paths go deeper and further. In a culture that celebrates extroversion, introverts often grow up believing something is wrong with them. They hear phrases like, speak louder, be more confident, be more social. But the world does not need more noise. The world needs clarity, wisdom, calm focus. Introverts bring that, not by forcing themselves to be someone else, but by embracing who they already are. Success is not about being loud. Success is about being effective. Success is about knowing yourself. Introverts have a tremendous advantage when they stop trying to fit into extroverted standards and start using their natural strengths. When they honor their rhythm, when they protect their energy, when they focus on fewer, deeper things, when they allow themselves to be quiet and brilliant. Think about history. Einstein, Newton, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all introverts. Not because introversion guarantees greatness, but because depth multiplies results. They didn't try to win by being louder. They won by being deeper. They weren't constantly in the spotlight. They were in the workshop, the lab, the notebook, the idea, thinking, building, creating. And every introvert carries this potential. The potential to create something meaningful, something lasting, something beautiful, something that does not need applause to be real, something that comes from inner truth. What makes introverts successful is not that they avoid people. It's that they avoid noise. They choose what matters. They create space for thought. They protect their attention. They listen. They learn. They build. They grow. Not quickly, not loudly, but steadily, quietly, consistently. And that is why introverts rise. One step at a time. One idea at a time. One deep conversation at a time. If you are an introvert, you don't need to change who you are. You need to lean into who you are. You need to trust your way of moving through the world. Your calm is power. Your silence is wisdom. Your depth is advantage. The world doesn't need you to shout. It needs you to see clearly, to think deeply, to care, to create. Introverts succeed because they are rooted. They are grounded. They know who they are when the world becomes loud. They don't get lost in chaos. They step back. They breathe. They wait. And then they move with precision, intention, and purpose. They are the ocean, not the waves. And while others crash and disappear, they remain. If you are listening and something inside you feels recognized, maybe for the first time in a long time, remember this: you don't have to compete with noise. You don't have to perform for approval. You don't have to become someone else to succeed. Your path may be quiet, but it is strong. Your journey may be slow, but it is true. And sometimes the quietest people build the loudest legacies. Introverts are not half of anything. They are complete. They are powerful. They are built for depth, built for focus, built for meaningful achievement. And the more they honor this, the higher they rise.